Hey, this is Michaela, and you're listening to Dan Lupinski on the Dan Lupinski radio program.
And I just did the Mary Lou Henner show here in Los Angeles. You remember her from Taxi?
Yeah, I remember her.
Absolutely delightful woman.
How did that show go?
Well, how did what go?
Yeah, how did the show go with Mary Lou Henner?
Oh, it was great. It was really great. She's a lovely person, so upbeat, and
Yeah.
it was really fun.
Okay, hold on a minute. This is Dan Lipinski, host of the Dan Lipinski radio program. This is episode number 12, and my guest today is Bill Oberst Jr. Bill, say hi to everybody.
Dan, glad to be here, man. So I'm coming to your neighborhood. I'm flying into Chicago on Thursday.
Oh, are you? You're coming in for the Ray Bradbury Festival, right?
Ray Bradbury Storytelling Festival, 10th annual in Waukegan. So I'll get my little car at O'Hare and get my butt to Waukegan and get ready to perform some Bradbury for Halloween weekend. I couldn't imagine a better Halloween.
I'm gonna try and get up there because I want to hear this because Matt says you're pretty good.
Oh, great! You're going to try to come?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, and listeners in the Chicago area, there's two things that I'm participating in. I'm doing a solo show of Ray Bradbury, Pillar of Fire. It's a one-man, I call it a very theatrical reading. I'm moving around a lot. And it's in the library on Halloween Day in Waukegan. It's at 3:30. It's free. And I'm also taking part Friday night in the big gala event where they have several people tell Ray stories from on stage at the Genesee. And I'm doing the Foghorn with Megan Wells, who's the director of the festival. That's Friday night, and there's a small ticket charge for that, which you can get at genesee.com or at waukeganpl.org.
So how did you get involved in doing this?
When Ray Bradbury, it's because I'm a fanboy. When Ray Bradbury died, but to back up,
Right.
Ray Bradbury, he saved my childhood, man. Because I was really unpopular. I couldn't throw a football. I couldn't do any of the stuff cool kids could do. I was fat, and I was the real complete outcast. The fat kid, smart kid, ugly kid, and sissy kid, all in one kid.
Oh, I was the same way.
And, oh, okay, all right. So
I can relate.
one day, walking through the woods, literally walking through the woods, I find this old paperback book down in the pine straw, and I pick it up, and it's called S's for Space. And I'd never heard of this man before. Tales of Wonder from the Master of Imagination. And I opened it up, and my world was changed because Ray Bradbury taught me that it was okay to be different. It was okay to have weird ideas because he was weird and different. So anyway, I became a lifelong Bradbury devotee. And I always said, if I'm in Los Angeles when he dies, I'm going to the memorial service. But I was shooting a movie when his memorial service was held in 2012, and I couldn't do it.
Right.
So I wrote to the Storytelling Festival in Waukegan, and I said, look, I'm nobody special, but I loved Ray. Can I participate? So they let me come, and I did a little bit of this short story I love called Pillar of Fire that year. And the audience loved it, and I loved it. And I felt so strong about it that I wanted to create a one-man show, which I debuted in Los Angeles this summer. And then the festival said, hey, why don't you come and take part in the festival again and also do your one-man show? So I love Waukegan because I love Ray.
Right. You know, if it wasn't for Ray Bradbury, we wouldn't have Star Trek, because I know Gene Roddenberry was a big fan of Ray Bradbury too.
Oh yeah, man. And I am very surprised when I hear people that haven't heard of Ray, but it happens, as time passes. So one of the things I want to try to do in taking my little one-man show around is introducing a new generation of readers to Bradbury, because the stuff is timeless,
Right. So, it'll be coming up this coming Saturday, October 31st, 3:30 p.m. Waukegan Public Library, 128 North County Street in Waukegan, Illinois. Free admission. Program of the 10th annual Ray Bradbury Storytelling Festival. A theatrical reading by Bill Oberst Jr. Ray Bradbury's Pillar of Fire. Now this
and that'll be Saturday. That'll be Saturday, 3:30. It's in the Ray Bradbury room in the library. It's actually on Halloween Day.
Okay, that's cool. So You're going to the fantastic horror film festival too, aren't you?
And yes, I'm going to San Diego. In fact, my plane lands from Chicago. I get in a car and drive like a madman to get to San Diego in time for the Fantastic Car Film Festival. Last year, they were kind enough to give me the first of its kind award, the Lon Chaney Award, Ron Chaney's great grandson.
Okay.
And presented. And so this year, I've got to give the award to the next person who's going to receive it. And I'll do that evening at the Fantastic Car Film Festival in San Diego.
Oh, that's cool. I talked to Chanel Ryan not too long ago, and I asked her who is her favorite actor of all time. She mentioned you, because
Wow.
she did Circus of the Dead with you.
That's unbelievably kind. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I think when I think of my favorite genre, if I stay within the genre I work usually, my favorite genre actor of modern times has to be Vincent Price.
Really?
And if there's anybody that I would love to try to emulate in my career and in my personal presentation, it's Vincent Price, because he did freaky, scary, tongue-in-cheek stuff on screen.
Yeah.
And then in real life, he was such a gentleman. He was always classy.
I always liked a lot what he did, like The Saint, and I mean, how many things was he in? You know?
Oh yeah, he just worked and worked, and even if the projects weren't great, he did his best, and he had a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was classy. He didn't in his personal life, when he could speak, he spoke in full sentences. He didn't use profanity, and I think that the entertainment industry, particularly the horror genre, could use a little bit of that kind of class.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I mean, we could get by with a lot less colorful metaphors, as Spock says.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, in Bradbury's work, Bradbury's all about metaphors. Bradbury said that what's important in a story is not really the plot; it's the metaphors, like what it stands for.
Right.
This piece we're doing on stage Friday night in Waukegan, the festival director Megan Wells and I, the Foghorn, it's a metaphor for loneliness, and it's summed up when this old lighthouse keeper is looking at this monster swimming in, because the monster thinks the tower's calling to him.
Right.
And he says to the younger guy, he says, "That's life, Johnny. Someone always waiting for someone who never comes home." I'm like, wow, he took a story about a sea monster and turned it into something so personal that tugs at your heart.
Yeah. Oh, I know a lot of us could relate to that, because it's such a lonely world out there,
I think you're right, and I think too that we humans do a lot of distracting stuff to try to cover up the fact that we're all alone.
Yeah.
I mean, you can love someone, you can love people, you can love God. Ultimately, you're trapped in your own self in this world, and you can't get out.
Right.
And we're the nature of humanity is to be lonely, but yet we have, things like social media, which are supposed to make us feel more loved, and for me, they make me feel more alone.
Right.
The only thing that, like talking now I don't feel alone because I'm talking to a person.
Right.
That's the only way to assuage loneliness, is to get out and talk to real people and to really socialize. And that's why I really don't like online socialization. It's a very poor substitute for what we need to fill this pit of loneliness.
I mean, Facebook and texting is okay, but it could be so impersonal, and depends on what you're texting. Sometimes that could be misunderstood, and
That's right.
And people forgot how to talk to each other. Like, what's wrong with talking with each other across the room instead of sitting in a chair from each other, texting each other? Like, what's that about?
Well, I'm afraid that we've all turned into people who are afraid to talk to one another because we're so used to. It's safer to hide behind a text or an instant message,
right?
Rather than just picking up the phone and calling and saying hello. It's weird now to do that.
And entertainment in itself has become more personalized too, especially when you have your little iPhones now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because like it used to be a communal experience to watch a movie with other people.
Right.
And no, you don't have to leave your home. You can sit around in your underwear and watch the new X-Men movie on your phone or on a flat screen.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good. I kind of think the whole idea of storytelling from the time we had campfires was we'll all get together.
Well, I like that.
Oh,
I think that's better than watching
me
TV.
too.
You know.
You know, we did. I remember when I was a kid. I mean, we didn't have the 3 channels, but so the whole family got together around the one TV and we watched television. And I remember it more than I think I would have if I just sat in my room and flipped through stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you still catch people where they sit in their backyards and with the bonfire and just sitting around and chatting and stuff like that. I went
I'm from the South. I'm from. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I went up to Door County the second weekend in September. We went to this Raleigh's Bay Resort. That's what we did. That's what we did that Saturday night. Sit around a whole big bonfire and just BS the night away. You know, I mean, it was the best entertainment you could ever have. You know, I think.
I believe it too, and I think it's where people in previous generations had more imagination.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like a dog eating its own tail, because like most of our entertainment is it's a copy of something else.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Xerox copy that's copied and copied and copied and copied and copied, a copy of a copy of a copy. But people used to sit around and come up with really new ideas.
Right.
I miss that.
I think you catch that a lot when they release or redo certain movies too. You know.
Yeah.
So like
And of course, it's all about money, because it's just like somebody owns the. I talked to a guy who worked on one of the recent, I think it was Children of the Corn, a couple of years ago, which shot up here. And like you have to do a movie every few years,
right.
or you lose the rights. You know.
Yeah.
So they're doing a very, very low budget movie here for the Children of the Corn. Not to knock the Children of the Corn series, it's great, but it's just this is the story I have. So he said we're working on the Children of the Corn movie, and they send a rough cut in to one of the producers when they're almost done.
Yeah.
And a note comes back from the producer, and it says, "There's 2 things this movie is lacking: 1, children; 2, corn." Because they got so far away from the original concept.
Yeah.
There was nothing of the original concept in it anymore.
Wow. Wow. So that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the way. I mean, especially Facebook. You know, I mean, yeah, like they say, they need somebody to talk to. They need somebody to relate to. You know, that's how lonely a world this is. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And everybody on Facebook loves each other. You know, it's gotten where you can't. If you post something without an explanation point, then people think you're being surly.
Yeah.
Like a period is not good enough. You know, like, "Hey Dan, really good being on your show." Period. That's like, oh wow, what is he like? He didn't enjoy it. So then I got to do, "Hey Dan, really enjoyed being on your show." 1 explanation point, but then I'm like, well, what if he thinks that's not enough? So then like 2 explanation points and a smiley face.
Yeah.
And then you think I'm full of shit because I did too much.
Right.
So it's just like, oh man. But you're right. If I texted you and I said, "Gee Dan, I really enjoyed the show," you would, and if I might really mean, "Gee Dan, I really enjoyed the show," but you might take that as, "Gee Dan."
Yeah.
Yeah, written communication, it lacks.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it lacks feeling.
That's for sure.
Well, I guess it depends if you catch on what the conversation's about. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Ask a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Rich, his director over here. I was curious. You got any new movies coming out? I noticed you had
I do. I've got one opening in Hollywood this weekend. In fact, it's called At Granny's House.
Really?
And it's about a Midwestern granny whose home seems to be a model of propriety, but it ain't. There's bad things happening in Granny's house. It's filmed by Les Mahoney, and stars Rachel Alec and Glenda Morgan Brown, and I play a detective. And so that's opening at the Arena Cinema here in Hollywood this weekend for a theatrical run. And nationally, probably the next two that I'll have coming out will be Circus of the Dead from Billy Pond, in which I play a necrophiliac clown.
Really?
And Stress to Kill with Armand Desante. This is from director Mark Savage.
Right.
And the idea here, I play a guy in Stress to Kill who goes to the doctor because I've had a heart attack, and the doctor says, "You got to get your blood pressure down, dude." I'm like, "How?" And he's like, "Do whatever you have to do to remove stress from your life." So I start killing people who won't shut off cell phones, and my blood pressure goes way down, and the doctor's like, "I don't." No, they ran Valley Best feature. That's you can. No, at Fantastic Horror Festival, they're running a movie called A Grim Becoming.
Yeah.
And that's about death. Needy telling this young guy that now he's deaf and he's responsible for making sure that everybody dies. Because I think it's sort of like Death Takes a Holiday. And I'm in that with Melantha Blackthorne. I play a very strange half of a very strange sort of Gomez and Morticia couple. So that's playing at Fantastic Horror Film Festival.
Okay. So
there's a lot of film festivals going on around the country right now.
Yeah,
right?
there is.
Yeah.
Is there
They're
any...
great for indie films because it's a way for us to get our films out, let people see them, get a little buzz, get some awards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any other festivals you've been involved in other than the Fantastic Horror Film Festival?
Well, I just did Boise Horror Film Festival, which is their second year, and beautiful Boise last weekend. I usually do Weekend of Horrors in Germany. Overseas, they love American indie horror, and I'm doing one in August in Newfoundland, and I believe it's called Avalon Expo, and that'll be my first Canadian con.
Okay. Do you have any other films you maybe working on? Anything coming out? You're currently working on?
Oh my Lord, yeah, I do about 12 a year. I've got one more to do this year, I think, before I go on tour with the One Man Christmas Carol, which I do in December.
Okay.
And then back at it. I would invite people to go to my IMDb page if they want to see what's up. And there's also a message board down at the bottom of the IMDb page where people can leave a message, say, "Hey, I hated you in this," or "I liked you in this," or, whatever. And I read those and respond to them. It's a good way to get a reality check from the fans.
Okay. So yeah, when I get up to this thing in Waukegan, I hope to see you up there.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, definitely come up and be the little skinny guy there, all excited about being able to say Ray Bradbury words. It's very geeky. It's very geeky to be excited about speaking the words of Ray Bradbury on stage. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we visited your website, and apparently it's under construction. You have any idea when
Yeah,
that's
I'm
going to be
having all
ready
kinds
for
of
you?
new stuff to go on there. I'm doing more theater now. I did for 16 years, and then I set it aside for 7 years to do film, but I really miss theater. So I'm retooling the website to include some of my touring shows. I still tour with Mark Twain. I'm touring with Ray Bradbury's Pillar of Fire, One Man Christmas Carol, and I also do the Book of Genesis, taken from the Torah and the Bible as a one-man show. So I want to put all those on the site. That's where it's down.
Oh, that's cool. You want to talk about a little bit the Book of Genesis? What's that about?
It's exactly what's in the Torah and the Bible, and I tried to take the translation that's the closest to the original.
Okay.
The original Hebrew. And I can't do, of course, the whole Book of Genesis would take a couple of hours, and so I do like what I consider to be the key stories: the creation, the fall, the story of Abram and Isaac, the story of Abram and Sarai, who becomes Abraham, and Sarah, the story of Joseph and his brothers, the flood. Just trying to hit the high points. But the language is so poetic and so beautiful, and we forget it because people argue about, oh, was the world made in 7 literal days or was it 7 metaphorical days? And what they're missing while they're arguing and screaming at each other is this beautiful poetry. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form, an empty waste. Darkness brooded upon the midst of the waters, and the face of God brooded there. I mean, wow, what a great picture, of the creator of everything, sort of his brow furrowed, and he's brooding and brooding. And then there's this pause, and then it says, and God said, let there be light.
Yeah.
And it's like the way the poetry is written, it's like he was thinking about it for eons that we couldn't even imagine, and then suddenly he just breathes out these words, let there be light. So that's what I try to do with it when I do it on stage, is get people to hear the beauty of these stories, which try to explain everything and why we're here.
Yeah, because the words alone, they're like draw a picture,
Well, they do, yeah, and they're like a hymn. It was the first day. There's a lot of repetition in it. So when people get hung up on the literalness of it, I think they really miss the beauty. We have to have founding myths, whether the myths are true or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's more important to let the story get into your soul than it is to try to logically think it through and think, well, wait a minute now, would there have been dinosaurs, and would there have been aardvarks, and how many hours? And it misses the point to me.
That was always the thing about reading. It was like what it means to you than somebody telling you what it was about, because anybody could tell you their version of it, and like, okay, and then you go and read it, like, what were they talking about? I mean, that could be the same thing with a movie too. Someone would come give their point of view, like, and then you go see it, like, what are they talking about?
Definitely in movies. Like, okay, I did a movie called Coyote, which is kind of like visual poetry because it's art house.
Yeah.
And art house meets horror, and so I play this guy who's kills a lot of people, and he has these really weird experiences, and you don't know what's real and what's not. So something after seeing the movie blew me away because they said, I think none of it happened. I think he imagined all of it.
Really?
He imagines various versions of his reality, and this is just one version he thought of to explain how he ended up. I was like, wow, I know the screenwriter didn't intend that, the director didn't, and I didn't, but that's what they took away. It's really cool that you can have different people come up with different things.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, because if I read something, I may get something out of it different than you might have gotten out of it, and same thing with somebody else too, and especially like given a reading from the Bible, well, it was how you interpreted it, Yeah, right. But yeah, but uh, yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same way. And I'm not one to jump on anybody's bandwagon. Don't always act on hearsay because anytime you do that, you get a picture, a wrong idea anyway. And that's not the direction you wanted to go.
Yeah, we
Now,
kind
what's
of
that old thing our mother used to tell us? You have two ears and one mouth, so you're supposed to listen twice as much.
Right.
we
If you
kind of
can't say anything nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. Those old maxims, probably we'd do better to remember them.
Right.
yeah we kind of missed that little speech in the live video stream. I thought it was a great little speech about the spirituality of the word and what have you. Can you kind of repeat that? That little.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know what I said.
Oh, all right.
That goes to show you how God could talk to you.
Yeah, we've it's kind of overcast and rainy here. We're kind of getting the effects of the hurricane up here right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and
Oh, that's all right, man.
it's kind of breaking up our broadcast signal.
I really enjoy talking to you, Dan.
Yeah. So, Bill, give us any kind of links for anybody to look you up.
Yeah, I asked them to go to my IMDb page and check it out there. And if you can't remember how to spell Oberst, you can Google creepy torso actor, and there's two people that come up.
Will that really work?
Two people come up: Christian Bale, the machinist, and me.
Really?
We'll have to try that.
I don't know why people think my torso is so creepy, but that's a kind of a back way to find me if you can't remember how to spell Oberst. But yeah.
Okay.
It's not that creepy. I'm just skinny, okay? Jeez. A little touchy about it.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Bill, I really enjoyed having you on this afternoon. Nice talking to you again, and it's always fun talking to you. And you have a great weekend. And yeah, hey, I'll look forward to seeing you up in Waukegan.
Thank you, man. Me too. I really appreciate this. Take care.
So you take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Bill Oberst Jr. Again, Saturday, October 31st at 3:30 p.m. up at the Waukegan Public Library. Bill Oberst Jr. will be given a theatrical reading on Ray Bradbury's Pillar of Fire, and this is a free admission, a program of the 10th annual Ray Bradbury Storytelling Festival. Yeah, free admission. Can't beat that. Again, that's at the Waukegan Public Library, 128 North County Street in Waukegan, Illinois. And thank you all for joining me this afternoon. Very much appreciated. Hey, if you're interested in producing your own internet radio podcast show, go to the karaokezone.com and talk to my buddy Rich Munich. Say hi, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
And Rich will get you going on that. And hey, check out Rich's YouTube page. He's got a show too. So check him out and give him a like and subscribe to him too. And while you're at it,
the search goes on for good internet connection.
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry that this broke up during the broadcast a couple of times.
But Rich just does a super job, putting this all together. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and have a great week. And but remember this: no act of kindness, no matter how small, is never wasted. And hey, while you're on YouTube, click on like, click on subscribe, and I also have a Patreon account, and you could donate $5 or more, whatever you want to do. But just always remember that this program is always free to the listener, and I'm very, very much appreciated for anybody listening, and thank you all for your support. And thank you for listening to the broadcast. You take care. Let at least one person know you love them, and we'll talk to you next time. All right? Bye-bye. Take care.